Matt, good morning. We got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
I want to start off by, in the words of President Donald Trump, it is what it is.
Yeah, that was a stunning interview with Axios. Go ahead, Rashawn.
Yeah, it was an amazing interview. He said it. He said it is what it is, but that doesn't mean we aren't doing everything we can. It's under control as much as you can control it. So, Matt, I decided to embark on my own version of it is what it is. Here we go. Over 4.7 million COVID-19 cases in America. It is what it is. Over 157,000 COVID-19 deaths in America. It is what it is. Here's a stunning it is what it is. On July 31st, more than 25 million people lost the extra $600 weekly federal unemployment check. More than 26% of adults reported missing last month's rent or mortgage payment and having slight or no confidence that their household can pay this month's rent or mortgage on time. That's a classic, it is what it is. And more than 23 million renters are at risk of eviction by September 30th, which is next month. Those most likely to get evicted are undocumented workers, low-income families, and people of color. And so when I hear our top leadership cavalierly make statements like it is what it is, and we see that the House is in the Senate and Mitch McConnell, and everybody wants to sign something, but nobody's moving forward to put a plan in place to sign anything, and we left with a statement, it is what it is. I had to make that my headline story for you today, and just open conversation between us and the American people about where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Where do we really go?
Well, the businesses are opening and closing, Rashawn, and we've discussed this so many times. We started this. We originally wanted to have these money-making conversations for small business owners, but the coronavirus hit.
Right.
You are a small business owner. What are you hearing from the community, Rashawn?
Well, first of all, hearing the fact that, you on June 30th, they extended the PPP program.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but of course, the PPP program didn't work for the people prior to the extension. It was twofold. The first time they did the payroll protection program, it went to all the major corporations. Then they were embarrassed, and then they started returning $1 million checks. And then the second phase, the amounts of payments were so small, the average payout was like $79,000. Where the previous payments were millions of dollars. And so then they extended it, and there's been a mild response to that. Now the new plans that's under negotiations, like we said, we had two plans that are out there. You had the HERO plan, which was approved in May, which approved the $600 weekly check through the end of January, which we all feel should happen. And then you came back with that was $3 trillion at the time, and now Nancy Pelosi is saying she's willing to sell it at $3.4 trillion for the next stimulus package. Where the Senate, led by Mitch McConnell, says they want a $1 trillion budget, and included in that budget was, like I stated last week, was a $1.8 billion FBI building that Donald Trump wanted, more funding for the wall, Apache helicopters, shipbuilding. And so where does that leave business owners like myself? Frustrated because of the fact that there's no plan for how we can get customers in the door, but we are in the new normal. And so I have to function under this new umbrella of opportunity, whether I like it or not. And basically, we're kind of fending for ourselves a little bit out here because we don't have any plans of operations where when you see the president tout medicine like hydroxychloroquine that CDC said it doesn't work. Dr. Fauci says it doesn't work. Dr. Birch says it doesn't work. And he's touting, and I think he's misleading young people by always saying that COVID-19, they recover, they don't die. And that's why you see all these parties going on out there. Yeah. It's just misinformation that's being led from our commander-in-chief.
Yeah, we're approaching 5 million confirmed cases, 156,000 deaths, and people, like you said, continue to gather in droves. They're not wearing masks. And it's been a patchwork of approaches, Rashawn, because since the beginning, this has been punted. Responsibility has been punted down to low levels to the point where we're hearing school superintendents in very small communities having to make decisions to reopen. Otherwise, they face funding cuts. One of these small communities has already had a teacher die. And
Yeah.
the superintendent, Rashawn, was tasked with going through the guidelines that the government laid out and completing those guidelines as if this is something he has done before, as if he's dealt with a pandemic before.
It's crazy and it's scary and it's unfortunate because it's been politicized. We've all known that. We all hear that on a daily basis. Blame, finger pointing. Is we went from the civil unrest, then that was potential lead. The protests were potential issues. But the bigger issue here is that people are out there. I was going to do a story today on Fox News today. It asked me to come on and talk about what are the options for people, financial options for people who are no longer getting a $600 weekly check.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to bow out of that because there are no options, Matt.
Yeah.
It's either homelessness or food banks. I can't tell you what to do with a budget. There's no budget to talk to you about. 4 months ago, I could tell you about a budget. Right now, these people need to get not that $200 check. They need to get these $600 checks because of the fact that how the system works in the government. Once they approve this, it's going to be 2, maybe 3 weeks before that check even is in their hands. And also, they still got to get the stimulus checks in their hands as well. So we're looking at a potential month without any potential income, and people can, in some ways, be starving along the way. So it's sad, and when I come on your show, I'm really just trying to state the facts and just reiterate that we do need to understand that we control our destiny, and we have to vote, and we have to make a difference at the polls this year.
Quickly, Rashawn, as a small business owner, are you concerned about personal protection again as we open and close and cases go up and down?
Absolutely, because it affects my insurance.
Yeah.
It affects, I have tenants. And so I have new policies that I have to put COVID-19 language into my agreements.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, it has changed the way I think. It changed the way I walk my staff through our offices yesterday to make sure they were comfortable with the COVID changes that I'm making to the positions. I didn't put this in my budget, but I have to, as a small business person, realize that I can put myself at risk if I don't value and have a clear understanding how COVID can affect not only me, but also my employees and also any particular clients that I bring into my work environment. Yes, it has affected me and affects everybody in this country, and that's why we talk about it on a daily basis, because there's an awareness that's not going to go away in 2020.
All of our money-making conversations with Rashawn McDonald are uploaded to his YouTube channel, Money Making Conversations. Rashawn McDonald joining me each Wednesday here on America's First News. Rashawn, hopefully by next week we will be talking about a deal. How's that?
Thank you. I appreciate you.